Welcome to Lunch Money.
That's enough.
Yeah.
In
In case, so yeah, the podcast started. This was not a good intro. Next episode will be
yeah.
Ken really put me on the spot. So.
Well, not really, but I mean, for the YouTube, for the YouTube viewers, they have a little bit of a surprise. Frank got very close to the camera there.
Yeah.
I'll take over now.
But...
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lunch Money. What?
No, go ahead.
No, fine. Please, after you.
Oh, fine.
Okay. You were taking a minute.
We're leaving this.
Yeah, we are. Go ahead,
Welcome
Frank.
to Lunch Money.
There it is. We hope you missed us. We missed you. Yeah, we're back. We have an idea for this episode. We've had it for a couple weeks now. It was Frank's idea, but first we're gonna get into sports for the first part. Because Frank really wanted to talk about the Eagles this week. Nothing to do with last night's game. But I'll go first. The Panthers won, so now we are 2-12, I think, which is fantastic.
What's that like? What's winning like?
Winning feels good. Now, I read something earlier that the Panthers are now officially not going to be the first team. Yes, going to be the first team to be 1-16 in the NFL history. So that's fantastic. But yeah, we won. It was what, like 9-7 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, a win's a win. Don't look at the numbers. Just look at the letter. But Frank, the Eagles officially clinched for the playoffs. How does that feel?
The clinch, I mean, they like it. I mean, it would feel good if we were like playing football well.
Yeah.
But we're not.
No.
Plus, we kind of already knew. Like, there was already like a lot of things would have had to really go really wrong to not be clinched. Like I wasn't like banging like, oh yeah, cool. Like we're like my kind of feeling was like, oh cool, we're like clinched.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like. Not that it's not like important,
right? Yeah.
Obviously, but like when you're 10-3, you kind of figure that you are.
Well, I think
so. Like you kind of already celebrate.
You guys clinching makes Monday night a little bit.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah. Just for those who are not watching sports, the Eagles lost to the Seahawks last night. It was a close game, Frank. It shouldn't have been close, but it was. But you know what? You move on to the next. Like I've been saying for the past 12 losses. You can't be that upset because look at where I am right now. But
but like this is gonna come out rude.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't need it to be.
I know
you're in a really different position than this.
Yeah.
Like, not that you expect to lose.
Mm-hmm.
But like when your ticket prices are like 50 cents.
That was for like section 500. It was raining. It was 40 degrees. All right.
That was wild, by the way. Like that was real. Like that wasn't.
It was real. Yeah.
Like, that was real.
For those of you who don't know, this past Sunday, the Panthers played at home against the Falcons, and before the game started, obviously, one ticket price was about 45 cents. But it was for section 500. It was raining. It was 40 degrees, but still less than $1 for an NFL ticket.
Yeah, like
it's
this
crazy.
Is like an NFL ticket.
It's crazy.
Like, this isn't like a basketball ticket.
Yeah.
There
was a video that the NFL or someone posted. It was like the Panthers stadium before the game. It was empty. It was empty. It was terrible. But you know what? We still won. Whether or not people were there.
Those tens of fans got their
yeah.
Got their money.
I was reading the comments on it. It was like, of course, this is gonna be the game that they win, and then we ended up winning. But
yeah. I don't know. The Eagles made me upset. The last 2 weeks, they just make me upset. I mean, hopefully we turn around. I mean, if these we have 3 very easy games. We play the Giants twice, and the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh yeah, you got this.
If we can't go at least 2-1.
You got it. You'll be fine.
I'm also going to the game against the Cardinals.
That's gonna be a good game. At least it's not against the Giants. I mean, the Giants one would have been cool too. But Frank and I were in a Discord call playing Rocket League during this game. And
travesty.
Needless to say, Frank deafened and went AFK for a good, I would say 5 minutes, just to reset, which, it was needed. But anyway, we'll move on. Who do the Eagles play this week? The Giants, you said?
It was Giants, Cardinals, Giants, so you end the season.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you'll get those 3. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
But this is Philadelphia sports.
I think the Panthers play the Bucks next week. I want to fact check that.
Yeah, it was the Cardinals. What's the Panthers? I was thinking the C.
Mm-hmm.
And they just came out Cardinals. What's the Panthers?
So, next week... Panthers at Packers. Or Panthers and Packers.
Oh, God.
Terrible. Week 17.
Wait, at Packers? Like, in Lambeau?
Let's see. No. Bank of America Stadium. It's at Panthers. Yeah. Week 17, Panthers play the Jags. Great. In Jacksonville. Week 18, Panthers play the Buccaneers at home.
So you have 2 division games left.
Yeah.
Just like we did. Yeah.
And we're almost done. There's only 2 more weeks of regular season. Crazy to think about. But nonetheless, we put in our Super Bowl picks for last week, so we'll see. But let's get into the podcast episode. Frank, do you want to share your amazing idea for today's episode?
Nope.
Okay. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thanks, guys.
Something that is sure to spark conversations. That was the word. I was thinking of the word.
Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy theories.
Yes, sir.
Everybody has them.
Yes, sir.
They range from low to way out there.
Way out there.
So this could very well, warning now, this could very well be a 2-part episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to start talking.
Yeah, I mean...
see how it goes.
Yeah, like you said, it's a conversation thing.
Or it could be we have 3 of the main ones, and then it's a little bonus.
Yeah, we can figure this out. But like you said, conversation. We're just gonna go back and forth. Doesn't matter how long each one takes. We're just gonna talk, and you guys listen.
Yeah, whether you want to or not.
Basically, yeah.
Ken, I propose idea. So why don't you start us off?
Are you kidding me? We went through this.
Sorry.
God damn it. Okay. Oh god.
It's so aggressive.
Oh god.
It's so aggressive.
Do I start off strong or do I start off
I don't know. I've been debating that as well.
Okay, I'm gonna do one that I feel.
We're also gonna say if we believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say one that I feel will bring a lot of controversy.
Oh no. This is the album cover.
Okay, so listen. There are conspiracy theories that I believe in that might not be appropriate to talk about on the podcast. These are more, you know, I guess appropriate would be the best word for podcasts.
I went with not like pop culture, but like stuff like people would know. Like I didn't put in aliens. Like that's way too mainstream.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't do aliens. Okay. I'm gonna go with this one, and I'm gonna end off on the bang.
Oh, good.
So one conspiracy theory that I have read about was that Disney... No way. Is that the one that you picked?
Wait, keep going.
Disney created Frozen as a distraction. There's no way. There's no way. I think Frank chose the same one. Frank chose the same one, I think.
There's no way you picked that one.
Why?
There's no way. No way. That's my first one that I wrote down.
Awesome. So now we can talk about it together.
All right, so wait. So where did you hear it?
I've heard about it for a very long time. It wasn't something that I just looked up. Yeah. Was it something you just looked up?
So I didn't look it up. So I was the backstory to this is actually like really crazy, like coincidence. So if you think back, the diehard fans, if you think back to the first episode of this podcast, remember we were talking about that. I was a Ryan, in NASCAR, I'm a big Chase Elliott fan, but, like, I love Ryan Blaney, too.
Mm-hmm.
And he had just won the championship. That week, he had just won the championship for NASCAR. And he had a podcast. He was the podcast that got me into, listening to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided, it had kind of faded off, they had done, special episodes here and there. But the three hosts decided that he won the championship, do one more episode and then end it off on a bang because when you won the championship, all that.
Exactly.
In that episode, I was walking to class. I remember this vividly. Oh my God, Ken, I can't believe you chose this. They were talking about something because the way they would talk about episodes is they talked about winning the championship, then just kind of go on stuff not racing related, just pop culture related. And then something came up where one of the hosts was like, "Oh yeah, you know about the Frozen theory?" And they're like, well, what, for the movie Frozen? They're like, yeah, and they said that theory to what the theory is.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, the theory is that Frozen, the Disney movie, was made to divert internet traffic from Walt Disney being frozen.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
So I've known about this conspiracy theory for a while. I would say. I don't want to say years, but it's been a couple of years since I first learned about this theory. And yeah, I've heard about it. I've seen videos about it, whatever. But yeah. So basically, like Frank said, the movie Frozen, with Elsa, Olaf, Anna, it came out. I believe it was 2013.
2013,
yeah. So around that time. He's still freaking out. Around that time, I guess there was a lot of internet traffic going around that there was a conspiracy that Walt Disney's body was frozen under one of the Disney properties.
Well, the way I always heard it was that his body's just when he died, it was just frozen. The theory's been out there for a very long time, but because with the internet and everything, everyone was looking it up.
Yeah.
So the way I understood is that they made the movie to direct the internet traffic away.
Yeah, exactly. So now when you look up Disney Frozen, it comes up as the movie, obviously. But before the movie came out, before 2013, when you looked up Disney Frozen, it was a list of theories as to Walt Disney's body and why and where and everything like that. On Disney, if this is true, on Disney's part, smart as hell. You guys, outdid yourself on that one. To those who don't or aren't familiar with the movie Frozen, where I don't know how you wouldn't be, but if you are, it is probably one of the most popular Disney movies. It's a Disney princess movie, I believe. there's 2 of them out now. I think the third one's coming out in 2025 or something like that.
Good.
Yeah, but being that is one of the top Disney princess movies of today's generation, great job, Disney. You're doing something right, but now people are catching on. And if you look up Disney Frozen conspiracy, I'm sure now obviously you'll find something, but yeah, I don't know if you've read anything on it about that.
That's basically what I know. I mean, that's really like why, like
whether or not it's.
I'm sorry, I'm still like wrapping my head around like the first one. We've done so many things that like the albums,
Mm-hmm.
the states draft,
mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff, where like nothing has been the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first,
of course,
theory,
of course,
it's the same thing.
I'm in your walls. No.
That side note, sidebar. I may only have to go with 2 then.
It's okay. I have extras.
Okay, and one of mine goes pretty deep. But...
Okay. The reasoning as to why they have the body frozen, I don't know.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
The theory is, so it's widely accepted, quote unquote, that he was cremated.
Okay.
The reason that people think he was frozen is because Walt had a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. He was dying of like a lung condition, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to be frozen so that way he would be around, quote unquote, so that way when they found the cure, they could just melt him, give him the cure.
Oh.
And he'd keep living.
I think
so that was the whole frozen theory.
That's been pretty popular among like movies and things like that. Like Han Solo, you know, being I don't know what the word is, but very, very interesting. I'm glad that I was able to twist your brain a little bit with that pick.
I can't believe that. Like, ever since I heard that theory, like I literally stopped. I was walking on the path to class, and I heard them say that, and I was like, "Did I hear that right?" So I literally stopped and rewound the episode.
It's crazy that you haven't heard about it before.
No, I have. I never put it together. Disney Frozen. That's cool.
Well, that's what you get for not going first. I rest my case. Your turn.
Okay. Next conspiracy theory. Going into the world of sports. That would have Disney Frozen would have been my first.
Okay.
Going into the world of sports, Michael Jordan's baseball career. So the theory goes that after Michael Jordan's dad was murdered, passed away, he won the championship. Then he retired, quote unquote, to go play baseball.
Okay.
Because baseball was the sport that his dad really liked. And then brought him up as stuff. But the theory is that the then commissioner of the NBA, David Stern, actually suspended him for gambling too much during the season and like everything.
Okay.
And him going to play baseball, quote unquote, was a perfect segue into that suspension.
Okay.
Because he only realistically played baseball for like a year.
So did he actually play baseball?
No, he legitimately
okay,
played baseball.
So
but the reason why
okay.
he went to go play baseball, like it was talked about in Last Dance. I don't know if you watched that.
I haven't.
The documentary. He obviously Michael Jordan denied it, and so did the late David Stern denied it too. But like, it's out there.
Yeah, the pieces are fitting together, I guess, when you explain it like that. I didn't know that Michael Jordan played baseball. I wanted to watch The Last Dance, but I haven't yet. It is definitely still on one of my watch lists. I'm currently watching the Colin Kaepernick docuseries, but anyway, yeah, the way that you're describing it kind of alludes to the fact that, you know, the reasoning and everything.
It like it 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 fits, but like we didn't do this with the Disney Frozen thing. You're gonna say if we believed it or not.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it too.
I believe it.
Anyway, back to this one. Like, so I've heard this one a lot. Like, if like people who are really like in depth, like this isn't a shot or like an offense or anything. Like, who are really in depth in like the NBA have like heard this theory along with like other theories. Like any sport, if you're really in depth in the sport, you hear the.
Of course.
And like I heard it, and like it. Michael Jordan was a very big gambler. There was a story that he said it that during the Eastern Conference Finals he came down to Atlantic City and gambled between games. But I don't know it.
There's no facts to completely support it, but the timelines that you're giving me and the reasonings, it does, you know, like, it seems very possible.
I could see it, but I don't know if I, like, fully believe it.
I mean, Michael Jordan being one of, if not the greatest basketball players in history, making a name for himself, making a name for his brand, whether or not he was really willing to risk that, kind of up in the air. It doesn't, I mean, like I said, I'm not a huge follower on it. It doesn't seem like something that he would do in my knowledge. But like you've been saying, the timelines and the pieces they're fitting together. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that one.
I don't think it's real, but at the same time, like it's 60-40 for me. 60 that like that's like, you know, his dad had just died. They grew up playing baseball together. Like he wanted to go play baseball. But then there's the 40% where like you said, he was the NBA's biggest name. He was. We're gonna get a lot of conscious. He is the greatest basketball player to play.
Right.
And like all that, so like, can't really suspend a guy like that.
Yeah.
Like outright.
I don't know.
Like, if you cut a deal and be like, look, just go play baseball.
Yeah.
Go play baseball for a year, then you can come back. Go. You're like suspended.
Yeah. It seems so simple, but of course with the media and everything, it seems as if it's taken a turn for the drama.
Yeah. But
I don't believe that one.
I'll put
that out there.
I would lean to. I'll put it like this. I don't believe it, but if it were to come out as true, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, the thing is also, wouldn't you see pictures, camera footage, you know, of him in Atlantic City gambling? Like, at some point, the media would find him there.
No, I think the Atlantic City thing was after.
Oh, okay.
It is a known fact
that he's a gambler.
Michael Jordan is a heavy gambler. But it was just like.
I understand.
This is also like the early 90s.
Yeah, still.
So like you didn't have but you didn't have like a lot like stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was already known, and like we don't know like the NBA's policy on gambling. So it's like the fact of gambling is proven fact. Like he was a gambler.
Right. Okay.
Whether or not he was punished for gambling while being in the NBA is still.
I gotcha. I understand.
That's the theory.
Okay.
It's just the theory. Anyway.
Here we go again.
So my verdict is I don't believe it, but if it were to come out as true, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. I agree. Yeah. I don't think, I don't think that's true. But like you said, if it came out, I guess I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not, like I said, I'm not that knowledgeable on this one. But the facts that you're giving me, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the other reason why I wrote everything down.
Yeah.
Kenn was clowning me. This is all for our audio listeners. I have notes about all of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be wrong about anything.
I'll show you my notes.
All right, next.
Oh, gosh.
Please, God, let her not have this next one. Because if not, I don't have anything. Because I thought I honestly thought mine were pretty obscure.
Should I go with one, like, super out there so that it's not the same one?
I don't know, because mine's kind of out there, too.
Okay,
just go with your second one.
Okay.
Just go with your next one. Just go with your next
one. I don't know which one to choose. 1, 2, 1, 3, or 5. 1, 3, or 5.
Wait, that doesn't make sense. You said you
pick a number. 1, 3, or 5.
Oh, 3.
The Titanic did not sink. Put it in writing. So there's a theory.
Oh, yep. Oh, I know it. Okay.
So there's a theory.
The way you presented it was weird, but I think I know.
Okay.
I know this theory.
So
yeah.
There's a theory that the RMS, I think, Titanic, did not in fact sink, but another ship called the Olympic did sink. Very, very similar in the way that they look, but the Titanic held very rich people, very well-known people, and also very poor people. So I think, or I believe, I don't know if I believe, this is just a theory. It's just a theory. That the Titanic did not sink, and instead it was the Olympic that sank, and the Titanic brought all of its passengers to a different location where they could start new lives, whether it's a poor person looking for, a job or something, or, a new name, or the rich people trying to hide from whoever they're working with, or if they have the money, they don't need to work anymore. But the images and the videos of the Titanic underwater, like I said, the Olympic ship is very, very similar in the way that it is designed to the Titanic. There's another theory as to why the Titanic sank, but that's a different one. Solar flare, not a iceberg. Anyway, that's my theory. What do you think?
So, you're learning new facts about me all the time.
Were you on the Titanic?
Yep.
Perfect.
When I was younger, I really liked boats. And, the holy grail of boats is the Titanic. Mm-hmm. So I researched the Titanic a lot. So I was a nerd for that kind of stuff.
You like boats?
I'm a nerd. I'm a geek.
You like boats?
Yeah. So I know this theory because you said that they're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
They are sister ships.
Mm-hmm.
They were built by the same company on the same dock.
Mm-hmm.
Literally the exact same in almost every
aspect. Yeah.
Every aspect except a few. How I had heard it was that because the Olympic was older.
Yes.
The Olympic was a year or two older.
Yeah.
And it already had damage from something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that.
So what they did was they repainted the Olympic as the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
And then made the new Titanic built boat as the Olympic, so that way they could just get the insurance money from when the Titanic sank.
Right.
But actually with the Olympic, so they didn't have to repair it and just get all the money.
Yes.
That's how I always
Yeah. Whether or not the intention was...
I don't know about the people. I don't know reasoning. I just know that was like the switch.
All I know about the Titanic, besides watching the movie, is that
Jack and Rose aren't real.
That's another theory.
Hey, he could have gone on that. He could have gone on that board, but that's a whole nother theory.
For real though. Okay. Anyway, there was a bitch on a fucking oar, and she was fine, and then she had a whole door to herself. Anyway.
He could have gone.
What a hoe. Can never trust those hoes. There were very rich people on the Titanic. And it just kind of like, I don't know if I should say it, just like an island that is very popular. Do you know what island I'm talking about, Frank?
Yep, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, okay. Very rich people maybe need to get away, either because of how they got their money, what they were going to do with their money, whatever it is, but there were very different classes on the Titanic that was shown through the movie.
3, actually.
3, yes. Boom, boom, boom. Whether or not they were trying to escape from their current living situation is up in the air, but I am a 70-30 on this theory that it is true.
See, it's hard because of like the time. Like,
this is 1912.
This is the 19 teens.
Yeah.
Like, there were barely any like photographs.
19 teens, is that what you called it?
Like the teens.
It's the 1910s.
Whatever. The early 1900s.
It's gonna be a long night.
Early 1900s. There, you happy?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they could have easily done this.
Oh yeah.
It was completely possible.
Whoever was around that time is probably knocked already. I mean, they have to be knocked now.
Yeah,
so nobody's gonna trust a batshit crazy old lady who's like, it wasn't the Titanic, it was the Olympic. It's like, Susan, you gotta take your meds. You're going crazy again.
Like this could obviously like today, or like even like the 50s.
Oh yeah, too.
You couldn't get away with this.
No.
The fact that like it's at this time, you could easily.
Yeah. Easily. Jack and Rose could be real.
You pay another theory. You pay some like low wage workers that are already working on the Titanic. You give them like
at the time like $200.
You give them like, oh my god, they wouldn't say anything. $200 like now is like $1 million.
Yeah.
Like 100,000. But oh my god, yeah, you could do this. I'm 70-30 too.
Yeah.
I could actually. No, I'm 50-50.
Really?
Because I can see why they would do it and how easy it would be. But, like, also, like, these are, like, it was a lot of money. Like, you're losing a lot of money.
But the insurance is coming back. And imagine how much the people on that ship, the rich people, are paying to cover their ass. So it could have worked. It could work.
I'm 50-50. I can see why, but
I'll take it. I'll take it 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
That was my number 2.
I kind of want you to go again.
Okay.
Because I legitimately only have one more.
Okay.
I can do it. The Frozen one, really. So what do I have to choose between 1 or 5?
1, 4, or 5.
You go back to that. Let's go 4.
Perfect. We are living in the Truman Show. I repeat, we are living in the Truman Show. Have you ever seen that movie, The Truman Show?
I haven't, but I know the premise.
Okay. So, for those of you who have not seen The Truman Show movie, it is surrounded by a main character. I forget his name. Well, obviously it's Truman. I guess it's just Truman. I think that's his first name anyway. And so
it's Jim Carrey.
Yeah, the world is perfect. He wakes up, does the same thing every day, has a wife, comes home to, has great neighbors, very, very small town that they cannot leave because all of the exits are either under construction or a storm comes up, whatever. And we learn pretty quickly in the movie that it is all a show. So there are hidden cameras everywhere. Everybody but Truman is an actor or actress. And each day they watch over a 24-hour feed every single day since he was born. It was actually created when he was born. Cameras are everywhere. He was brought up by a perfect life, knows nothing outside of his life. And something happens where an actress or an actor makes a mistake or something, and he catches on, and so he starts questioning everything. He starts believing that there are cameras. He starts believing that people are actors and actresses. He tries to trick them. He runs away so that the cameras can't find him. He knows exactly where each camera is, and it turns out that he finds out that they're in this big studio. It's like a dome, and spoiler, he ends up getting out. In my thoughts, sometimes, I think we are in the Truman Show, where I'm talking to Frank right now, but it's all planned. Clearly there's a camera here. Maybe there's a camera here. Maybe there's a camera here. But do you ever feel this way? Like you're like almost like a Matrix kind of thing, where you're just like, no, no.
So, okay, I've never seen the movie.
Okay,
but I know
that's your homework. That's your homework. You have to watch the movie now.
I know the premise, and I've seen the clips. Like I've seen clips. Like,
do you ever just, like, start brushing your teeth and you look up and you're like, this isn't real? Or am I just crazy?
I've never said this isn't real. I've been like, wow, I'm really, like, a human being. I can't say I believe this one. I can't.
It's not like a conspiracy theory. It's more or less like a mental theory, I think. I just thought, just throw a curveball in there and just throw this out, see what you think about it.
No, it's definitely thought-provoking. My thing is, for me at least, say we go with your
train. Like, is this you trying to derive me? Is this you trying to derive me from my thought into believing this so that I don't think about this anymore?
So we go on that theory. Knowing me, I couldn't keep it. Like, I would have been fired already.
But, like, is that you telling me that so that I don't believe it? You know what I mean?
All right.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Can't do this.
And, like, are you changing the subject now so that I don't believe this? Am I crazy?
Crazy?
I was crazy once. Anyway.
I was crazy once.
That
is very thought-provoking.
I'll change it, Frank. Don't worry. I'll do one more, and then you could do yours.
I can't say, though, I believe that. I feel like... And especially if it was happening to someone, we'd know by now.
You don't know that. Or you don't know that. Because it'd be happening to you. Not someone else. It'd be happening to you.
Okay, next topic.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No,
like,
yeah.
Like,
no,
let's say Jacob, right?
Hi, Jacob.
Hi, Jacob. You, like, what you're thinking is, if we were doing this to Jacob, you would know. But that's not the thing. It would only be happening to you, and you wouldn't know. Do you understand?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Is it hitting?
Yeah.
Am I real?
Good. Now you need to wake up.
Wake up. Frank's part of the Truman Show. That's just it. I'm gonna go to one of my last topics, and then you can go because that one's kind of a stupid one. Or is it?
Like, what are my options? 2 or 5? Is right?
1 or 5?
1. I want to see what you first thought of.
The moon landing is fake. Was that yours?
No.
Okay, cool.
I have very strong opinions about this.
Perfect. Mr. Boatman.
I switched from boat to cars, right?
Huh?
I switched from boat to cars, but that's... I still like boats. Who doesn't like boats?
People on the Titanic. On the Olympic.
That's messed up.
Anyway. The moon landing was fake. This is a very popular conspiracy. Frank is shaking his head right now for those audio listeners who cannot see us. The reason why I believe this wholeheartedly is because things just don't match up. And what year was the moon landing?
1969.
Thank you. 1969, like Frank was saying, technology and things aren't that developed around that time period, like Frank said about the Titanic. So if you want to slip someone a little bit of money, they'll keep their mouth shut. There are theories that the picture was actually taken in Arizona. Have you seen that? Okay. There's a theory that the famous picture of the moon landing was taken in Arizona. When you look at the footprints and the shoes, I don't know if it's fake, but I saw a picture that the shoes don't match up with the footprints. Yeah. Also, the flag waving, I don't know. Gravity doesn't make a flag wave like that. It's just, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Frank? I'd love to pick your brain about this one, being that it is probably one of the most famous conspiracy theories there are.
Yeah.
Our listeners are gonna think I'm such an idiot. This is the episode that they stop listening.
I first need to know, do you believe that?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think we went to the moon?
I think we went to the moon. I don't think that initial first moon landing was real.
Okay, see, I'm more... Okay. Alright.
I believe we went to the moon now with what we have today. Back then, no.
Okay, alright, where do I start?
Where do I start? You're an idiot.
Because Mythbusters did a whole episode on this. They tested the flag in the vacuum of space, like in a simulated vacuum. It waves a little bit.
That's a simulated vacuum. Mythbusters.
Because my biggest thing is, like, if it was done on a Hollywood soundstage, like you said. Also, by the way, the argument of the Titanic thing doesn't make sense because if we do some quick maths,
I understand, but in one, I understand your point about the Olympic and the Titanic. You said even in the 1950s. So looking at the 1950s to 1969, that's only 19 years.
I said from the 50s on. You couldn't do it from like before the 50s.
I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
Next point.
If it was on a soundstage. I saw a video on this recently. It showed up in the old TikTok feed. That it like that's something huge.
Yeah.
Like if one person would have messed it up, like it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And no one did. So either
money, baby.
I was gonna say that, or hear me out. I know this is gonna be crazy. We did go to the moon because there is a flag there, and plaques, and footprints, and everything.
I think we did go to the moon, just not that initial flight.
this is the first one where like you don't believe it, like you do believe it, and I like straight up like don't.
And this is another way that Frank is gaslighting me that I'm not on the Truman Show. Anyway, I think that the moon landing was fake. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think it's fake. I think it's like a 60% real and 40% not real.
If you told me, obviously I believe, yeah. But if you were to tell me, like with full honesty, like if someone from NASA were to tell me, yes, we went to the moon, but like you said, not in the time we said we went to the moon, then I wouldn't be shocked.
Right.
But like, I wouldn't be shocked. But like, I'm not just gonna sit here right now and say, oh yeah, we didn't do like from everything I know. In 1969, we went to the moon.
I do believe we went to the moon in that initial one. Yeah. I just want to see your reaction about that. But being that it is one of the most famous conspiracy theories, I just had to bring it up.
I tried to stay away from those because we should have parametered this. Like, I want really obscure ones, and so I went with like the Disney Frozen things.
Yeah,
I didn't think that was real. Real. I didn't think like a lot of people had heard about that. Obviously, they have the MJ baseball thing. Like I said, you have to be in depth in like basketball history to know.
Yeah.
And like this one's like mainstream, but like it's been going on for so long.
I'm interested.
But yeah, we went to the moon. Unless you give me hard evidence that we didn't at that time, we went.
Do you have hard evidence that we did?
Yeah, you can look at a telescope and see the flag.
Now you can. Elon goes to the moon like every other week.
Yeah. No, Elon just launches stuff. He doesn't go places. He just launches stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's mainly launching them to see if it's like the re-landing thing, so you can reuse the rockets.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen.
No.
So he's making rockets. This is a complete side note, by the way. He's making the rockets to where they'll like self-land, and you can reuse the rocket.
That's a money saver.
Not like land like the shuttles do, like on a runway.
Mm.
Like actually, like they go up this way and they will come down this way.
Like an elevator.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's fun.
I really thought you were gonna say anyway. We didn't go to the moon, so.
We didn't.
Anyway.
All right, next topic. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want? Should I go now or?
Is yours? I have one.
How long is yours? Like how realistically? How long do you think?
Maybe like a 5-minute tangent.
Each.
I just have one.
No. Like, how long do you think the conversation would be on yours?
Like 5 minutes. Michael Jackson is not dead.
I've heard this one so many times.
He's not dead. I'm telling you this now, and I 100% believe it. And just like the moon landing, and not just like it. The moon landing was a joke. I do believe that Michael Jackson is not dead.
Okay. All right.
Have you seen the videos? Have you seen the pictures?
Yes,
have you seen the theories?
Yes.
Amazing.
So, okay. So I say a lot of things as a joke. Ken knows this. Obviously, we've hung out a lot. I say a lot of things that are jokes. I say time isn't real, which it's not if you really think about it. But, and like one of the best things, because I heard this from my cousin, and I started believing it and like saying it. She came to my house one day and was like, and I think her and my mom were talking about like Michael Jackson, or they were talking about someone being dead. Yeah. And she was like, Michael Jackson's still running around out there, and now I'm
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
I wouldn't discount it.
No. So the video that stuck out to me was that someone followed the ambulance after Michael Jackson passed away. Same license plate, everything. You could tell. Whether or not the video's edited, whatever, but the ambulance goes into the garage and you see someone getting out of the ambulance, out of the trunk, and going inside. Whether or not it's fake, that's something else. But have you heard of Dave? Is that his name? Dave? Look him up. And you can listen to him too. But he is I believe he's a burn victim. His face is severely burned. But he has the same facial structures as Michael Jackson. He wears glasses and a hat most times. And he sounds just like Michael Jackson. Not to be disrespectful in any way at all towards either of them, but to cover up your face, a burn incident would be one of the ways to do it. Same facial features, like I said, but the voice is there, and those who are listening, you probably know also who I'm talking about. But there are also pictures coming up recently about Michael Jackson and his kid, I think, or niece or something like that. I don't know. There's just a lot of inconsistencies, I think.
So, the dude had giraffes. And
he was under a lot of fire and a lot of controversy, to say the least.
And, documentaries came out about that.
To say the least. So, to fake one's death and come as a new person would be one of the ways to get out of it.
Because I've heard the stories too. I don't know if you've heard the stories that, like, he had to, like, make a fake grocery store and, like, have his, like, family and friends be the customers just to go and, like, experience a grocery store.
No.
Like, because you get so famous that, like, you can't go and do those things.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to fake your death. Like, but
it's another one. It's another one of those series that are pretty out there.
But, like,
but it's possible.
It's possible. If it was anybody, I think it would be him.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you can't say that about, like, you can't say that about Freddie Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
The only other person that I would believe more than Michael Jackson being alive still is Elvis, yeah.
I knew it. I knew we'd be on the same page about this. Amazing.
Because my thing, like, with Elvis, not to completely change from Michael Jackson.
No, it's basically almost the same.
It's basically the same thing. Like, it's so secretive at Graceland too.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go upstairs at all. There's only 3 people that are allowed upstairs. The curator. It was his wife. And his daughter.
Okay.
Those are the only people
and for those who don't know what Graceland is, do you mind explaining that for them?
Oh yeah, Graceland is Elvis's house in Memphis.
Okay.
It's like a mansion, like, in parties, and named it Graceland.
Mm-hmm.
Which, surprisingly enough, fun fact, it's actually very small by today's, like, mansion standards.
Yeah.
But, like, when he bought it, it was huge.
Right.
And, like, so, like, the fact that, like, only 3 people, which now it's really only 1, because is she still with us?
I think she just passed away very recently.
Yeah, and so did Lisa Marie, his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So, realistically, only 1 person in the world is allowed upstairs. And, like, him staying up there, like...
You never know. And you would think that someone would try and, like, fly a drone to see what's up there, but I think even so, it's pretty blocked off wherever he is, if he's in there. But...
And the same thing with, like, Michael Jackson. Like,
he could... You know, there are a
lot of... If it was anybody, it was those two.
Yeah, for some reason, there's a lot of people who look like Michael Jackson. There is, like, a couple of people who look like him legitimately. So he could just be in hiding. He could just be kind of just walking around living his day-to-day life. But I guess we'll never know. But I fully believe that Elvis and Michael Jackson are still alive, or did not die when they were supposed to die. Not supposed to, but like when they sorry when they were perceived to die.
Because those are the only two that have, like, I've thought about, like, Freddie Mercury, no. Tupac maybe, but, like,
X,
Juice,
yes. No. No.
Like, those two were the only...
He's not.
Okay.
He's not. Dude, there's too much. There's too much around that shit. You can't say that the sign's there.
Okay. But of them all, the ones that would make the most sense when you look at everything
on paper, yeah,
is Michael Jackson and Elvis.
Yeah.
So I agree that, like, I can agree that he might still be alive. This one's 70-30 for me. Like,
I'm like a 80-20 right now. Maybe 90.
Like 70-30 because, like, you know, no disrespect to the family, you know, he had to be buried or whatever they did. Millions of people loved him. All that kind of stuff.
Right. But
he could still be running around, you know.
Yeah, when we talk about these conspiracy theories, just know that we don't mean any disrespect to anything or anybody around it. It's more or less just topics of conversation that with possibilities of being true or being false. So, like Frank said, no disrespect to anybody with these theories.
Yeah, so.
I would love to hear yours, though. Your last one, because that was my last one.
So, I'm throwing it back to 2014. And I was in 6th or 7th grade. Wait, when is the date? March, 7th grade. Actually. March of 2014.
So that's 6th grade, right?
The end of 6th grade.
Yeah.
I don't know why this has stayed with me so long.
I'm very interested.
Like I still think about this. Do you remember that Malaysian plane that disappeared?
Yes. Yes, there's a Netflix documentary about it.
Yes. MH370.
Yep.
When that okay. The reason I even started looking at it was because for my social studies class, each week you had to write up a paragraph and, like, add a picture of a current event that was going on in the world. Like, right. Like, it could be anything.
Yeah.
And that week, my dad would have the news on, and this was, like, worldwide news, that this plane disappeared. So I did it on that, and I wrote a whole paragraph. I wrote the facts on, like, you know, these people, they lost contact, all that kind of stuff. They never found this plane.
No.
Like, they still don't know where this plane is.
They still haven't found this plane.
They still, like, it's almost been 10 years.
Have you heard the phone calls that were made on that plane?
Yes, I have. I watched a series. Okay. I watched a series. I've watched YouTube videos on this.
Okay.
Multiple YouTube videos about this.
Yeah.
I don't know why it interests me so much, but it does.
No, yeah, I mean, and, like, I didn't even think about this one, but it's so interesting.
And it's also not like that as a, like, plane disappeared.
It's a plane.
That's big enough as it is. Then, like, you think of, like, the theories and, like, what people said. Like, like I said, let's not get it twisted. Like, this plane didn't like crash and like disappeared. They don't know where this plane is.
It like the GPS literally lost signal from it in air. It didn't like crash. It didn't show any specific. It literally like there like imagine like a circle, and the plane's coming into the circle, and then one minute it's gone.
As soon as it hits the circle, gone.
Yep, it's just gone. So and like the EMF wave, some kind of EMF wave or something like crazy showed up on the radar or something, like a flash of something. It was very interesting. Yeah.
So I watched the Netflix series, and I had some problems with the Netflix series, like, because obviously like you're gonna make it for Netflix.
Yeah.
Like it's for audiences.
Come on.
So I watched there's an hour. What's it called? I'm pulling up so I can get proper credit.
Okay. Well, I'll keep reiterating the fact that there were phone calls made throughout the plane. There's a lot of conspiracies as to where or why or how the plane disappeared, but it literally lost all signals in air, and you can on a radar you can tell if a plane is crashing. There was no warning from any pilots at all. Just it's basically like out of thin air, just left.
So I watched a video by Green Dot Aviation, shout out, and it's called "What Netflix Got Wrong." Malaysian Flight 370. I watched it fully. I sat down and watched it. It's an hour and 13 minutes.
Oh my!
And so basically what it is, it describes the theory that is most agreed upon. Because there's three main theories. The three main theories, I wrote them down. Is that it was hijacked. By there were two hijacking theories. It was hijacked remotely, and that because Boeing was testing something with remotes, and hijacked by
people
that wrong plane.
Yeah.
But the theory that is most agreed upon, and again, don't have all the facts, no disrespect, that the captain hijacked the plane. So, this is the theory that is most agreed upon, and basically I outlined the video.
Okay.
So, the captain, Zahari Shah, intentionally hijacked the plane. When they got up in the air, there's also that whole thing with the radio message.
Yes.
Where he didn't say the proper thing. Like, it was like, I kind of want to pull it up and like, because this was a main focal point of the radio message.
Right.
I'm pulling this up.
Okay. So, I guess, the Malaysian flight is one of the most, like, just like the moon landing kind of thing, conspiracy theory, but this actually happened. Like, this flight actually disappeared. It didn't land anywhere. There were search teams out for months, and now even till today, they're still looking for this plane and these and the people on it. Because there was a full plane, right? It was just like a normal plane. It was supposed to go to... Was it coming from or to Malaysia? I think it was coming from Malaysia to... I can't... Do you know Frank? He's in his zone trying to find this video.
So, Ken, the radio right before they lose the plane, that's been talked about a lot. So the actual transmission was air traffic control. So the plane was about to enter Vietnam's airspace.
Right.
So Malaysian air traffic control says, quote, Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9, good night, which is the frequency that Ho Chi Minh uses.
Right.
Now, then the captain, Zahari, responds with, quote, good night, Malaysian 370. And that's it.
Right.
the reason why this has been blown up so much in the media is that technically the captain's supposed to read back the frequency, so that way they know he has it. They have
correct.
It right.
Yeah.
Like correct. That part I never really like got, especially because this video explains it very well. That from all accounts, the captain was like the most experienced pilot in the Malaysian Airlines like fleet.
Was this plane going from Malaysia to?
It was going from. It was a routine flight from like Beijing or Malaysia to Beijing.
Okay.
And this captain had flown that like more. He had like 18,000 hours in the air.
Right.
And like that's been blown up because like technically you're supposed to say it, but the captain has so much experience that he's probably been to this airspace before, and he just knows the
routine,
the frequency that you need to do. So that's the last they hear of it. And then, so the theory that I'm focusing on for this episode. So he says that. Then, like a couple minutes later, he asks the first officer to go and make coffee.
Okay.
For them. Given that this first officer, I'm blanking on his name. I'm so sorry. Wants to impress him because basically this was the first officer's last flight before he could be a captain of a 777.
Okay.
So, you know, if your captain tells you go get coffee and your captain's like the guy saying, "Oh yeah, I'll sign you off to be a captain."
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, "Oh,
you want
sure,
to do everything you can." Yeah.
So after he left, so it's standard protocol post terrorist events to have the captain's door locked. Or closed. You don't just leave it open.
Right.
So the first officer closes the door. I gotta stop. Then the pilot sees his opportunity. So he goes to the first waypoint that would put them in between airspaces. And right then, because it's the switchover, he disables all comm systems. The SATCOM and whatever would allow outside calls. On the plane. So the plane's off the grid.
Right.
Then, I may get some of these out of order, but this is like the algorithm.
That's okay.
He then climbed higher than normal. Then, he intentionally depressurized the plane. Because, as pilots, considering theoretically you would have two. You know those things that drop down and you have it on your face to...
Oh, the oxygen masks, yeah.
Yeah, the oxygen masks. Those have 20 minutes of breathable air. Okay. Because, in theory, it should take way less than 20 minutes for the pilots to descend to breathable altitude in case of a accidental depressurization.
Yes.
What he did was he climbed, then depressurized and stayed constant.
Okay.
Because, as the captain and the co-captain, first officer, whatever you want to call them, they need to be able to perform those tasks. So they have a full face, like, suck right to your face mask and, like, around your head.
Right.
And two tanks that can last two pilots 26 hours of air.
Wow.
Or one pilot, like, 52 hours. Yeah. So, he had that.
Okay.
And it takes, after those 20 minutes, you're not getting air. You're not getting breathable air. So you go into hypoxia.
Right.
Which basically, like, is like being drunk. You don't feel like you're doing it, and then you kind of just drift away.
Yeah.
You know. But the first officer realizes this is happening and grabs, because the flight attendants and flight crews have a better, not like as the pilots, but have better ones that last like 44 minutes. So he puts that on, tries to get in. The theory goes that he tried to get back in because this is kind of after everyone's kind of hypoxic.
Yeah.
Pilots and first officers have a code to get in.
Right.
Thing. this code is changed every flight because, if a hijacker gets it,
of course, yeah.
But still, there's a 30-second window where after you put the code in, whoever's in the cockpit has to turn a dial to allow.
Interesting.
So you either don't move it and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
You move to allow and the door opens.
Right.
Or you move it to deny
and it never opens.
It never opens.
Right.
So he put it in.
Mm-hmm.
The captain put it to deny.
Wow.
And in panic, he kept trying to do it. And then he kept saying no, and then his air ran out.
Mm-hmm.
So, hypoxic. So what he did was that the captain then turned around, flew back down to Malaysia,
mm-hmm.
then made a turn off of Penang.
Okay.
The island. People theorized that this is because that's where the captain was from.
Right.
That was him getting a last look
mm-hmm.
at his hometown. And it's important to know that in this theory, the co-captain was still awake at that point.
Okay.
And he was trying to get a phone signal because, at that banked angle,
yeah,
you were close enough for an amount of time to get a signal.
Mm-hmm.
For 30 seconds.
Right.
Then they flew up the Strait of Malacca. And as soon as they got out of the Strait of Malacca, they were in the southern Indian Ocean. And nobody could find them. Then he himself took off his mask and just drifted away. Just let the plane run its course. And
interesting.
Never to be seen from again.
Yet the plane has still not been found.
There have been pieces, confirmed pieces.
Okay.
Have been found.
Okay.
But in terms of the people and the actual fuselage and the plane itself,
mm-hmm. Nothing.
Nothing.
That's so interesting.
Which is crazy. What do you think is the most likely? Because that's just the most agreed upon theory. There's also obviously the possibility that, shot down, crashed,
mm-hmm.
a major failure, all that kind of stuff.
I think aliens. You never put in that theory.
That it was abducted?
Well, you heard the phone call, right? There's some phone call or some radio transmission that it just did not sound human. Did you hear that? Have you heard that before?
I have not.
I'm pretty sure that there's a video.
They didn't cover that in the show.
there's a video out there of a radio transmission or phone call or something, and the person's talking, and it just makes there's this noise, and it doesn't sound like a human noise, whether or not it's just the transmission signal or whatever it was. The way that the plane just disappeared, it makes sense that, obviously it turned off all the comms and the signals and everything like that. I think the theory that has people resting at night is the one that you had said, but nobody will ever know what actually happened because there's no way of knowing.
I think from doing all of this, I didn't want to believe that it was the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Because, that's kind of messed up. But
yeah.
The other thing that kind of sold it on the captain theory for me was that, so those tanks of air for the captain and co-captain,
mm-hmm.
they're not always filled up.
Right.
Mainly because they're not always used, so they're
mm-hmm.
always technically full.
Right.
However, there were notes taken from the plane before takeoff
mm-hmm.
that Captain Zahari filled out, that nothing needed to be done. It was even crossed out that this part of the plane didn't need to be took. Then later a service member wrote in those lines that the cockpit air tanks were filled up again, or topped off, or like added more air. So, I don't know. Oh, the one main theory that I completely forgot about is that Hari was very like, he wanted to teach younger pilots, and he had a setup in his house. Like, there's YouTube videos. Like, he had the flight simulator.
Oh, okay.
He practiced
doing this
exact route like 2 months ago, but really? Or like 2 months before. Yeah. So, theory is that this was supposed to happen in like February, but he decided to wait till March.
Wow.
And like that flight path was deleted, but obviously nothing's ever really deleted.
Yeah.
It was deleted, and then the hard drive was taken out. But so that exact path.
I guess that kind of confirms a little bit more.
I'm pretty sure he's set to where like the plane has no fuel, and like what thing, just to see like what would happen. Because basically at the end, like what we theorize is the end, is that it was basically like the Marie Celeste. It was just going.
Yeah.
With nobody alive on there.
Right.
But have you heard about the rings that they have? Like the 7 rings?
No.
So he didn't cover all of his tracks. Because there was still a satellite, I think it's called Inmarsat or something, that still was able to communicate with the plane. But nothing like location, or maybe it was location, something that like obviously didn't give them the answer, because it's still not that. But like, it would communicate with the plane would communicate back. So they have like 7 areas.
Okay.
Where it would be. And they checked all of them, and it's still not. Like this is that's crazy. Like,
it's just like
something I think about like to this day. I wonder if they're really ever gonna find this plane. Like I wonder if they're actually gonna find this plane.
Whether even if it's like underwater, 2014 was almost not. It is March of 2014 is over 9 years ago now. Documentaries have been made, things have been published about it, and nothing really gives an answer. And I guess that's the thing with conspiracy theories, is just there's never an answer. It's all up for theorizing yourself and make your own hypotheses.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
But let us know in the comments what you think. I think we had some pretty good ones.
Well,
I still can't believe you the Disney one. I still can't believe that.
That's especially first one too, of course. And I'm like, oh, you should go first. And you're like, no, it's fine. That's what you get. That's what you get. So. But yeah, I like Frank said, let us know some theories that you're interested in. Let us know what you think about our theories. And yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys think, because Frank and I kind of gave all of our opinions on all of them. Or even if you have a new theory that we had not mentioned, let us know. But I think that just about does it. Hang loose. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. We really appreciate you guys listening or watching or both. Follow us on our socials. We'll tag them at the end, just so you can keep up with what we're up to and what we're planning on, and any updates about releases of episodes, everything like that.
Maybe even an update on the plane. Probably not. But...
Probably not. But you know what? You never know. You never know. Yeah, I'm pretty set. What about you, Frank?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, he's hiding.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so we will see you guys, or talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.